Hey, what's up, everybody? Uh, a good Tuesday evening to you. Uh, I got a chart from Socrates today, and it was on the 4 hour, and he was looking at the inverted head and shoulders on it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So I kind of dove in a little bit, and I wanted to share it with you. A couple of things that I'm seeing. So, can we make a 10K call to the upside on a 4 hour chart? We're sure gonna try. So let's take a look. All right. 4 hour chart. A couple things I'm looking at. This is the inverted head and shoulders that we're looking at here. You know, the measurement on a head and shoulders like this is you take the distance from the head to the neckline, uh, and then whenever it breaks the neckline to the upside, you take that same distance or that same rate of change for your objective. And this I don't know where it would break along this line, but we have to keep an eye out for it. And we would want momentum behind it to break to the upside. So somewhere along this line, you take that distance to get your objective. So, and this is this trend line right here is the neckline of this inverted head and shoulders. Um, yes, typically uh, as a reversal pattern, an inverted head and shoulders is usually after a long downtrend, and it happens on the downside, and it's a reversal. But this is actually setting up as a continuation of trend, which is this bullish trend here, and then a continuation to the upside. So what am I looking at here? Over on this side, I had this trend line here going to the downside. Same kind of thing. You take the distance underneath the trend line and then use that as an objective to where uh, your uh, your objective would be on the breakout. So your buy would be on the break, your sell would be on the objective. And as you can see, this worked out pretty nicely. Uh, the moving averages on this that I'm looking at on the 4 hour chart is the 5 exponential moving average and the 21 exponential moving average. And I'm looking for crossovers on those to give us some signals. As you can see, it crossed right here to the downside, gave us a little bearishness, crossed right here to the upside at the same time it was breaking the trend line to the upside. So you had a cross on the moving averages, the trend line break. You also had a crossover on the ADX directional index lines here, and the ADX was up in an area that momentum was pretty good for trend. So you can see the bulls started to build trend here, and it worked its way up. Started to lose a little bit of trend right here as this kind of went sideways, but it broke right here. As you can see, the moving averages tried to cross right at this point, but even down here, you can see there was no cross, and the bulls still had control even up to this point, and then it broke to the upside here and it was off to the races. So one thing I'm looking at is these crossover points. As you can see, the 5 kind of went up here and then it crossed at this point and gave us that huge candle to the downside at that crossover, and that's right where the bears took over here. And momentum for the bears is starting to get less and less, and now it's went sideways here, but the bulls are back in control on the ADX, and I'm hoping to see a little bit of movement on the ADX to the upside to get some momentum going. But one thing I'm looking at is you have the 5 crossing over here, so we're on the bullish side here. So I want to keep an eye on this 5 to see if it ends up crossing the 21 to the downside, and if so, this pattern might not work out. But for now, I like the ADX. Hopefully, we'll build more momentum, some more buying interest on these dips toward the moving average, and then we can get a little bit of pressure. Hopefully, the ADX grows as price approaches this neckline on the pattern, and then we break to the upside. Now, one thing I like to do on necklines like this is I actually like to filter it out. And what I mean by that is I like to see, standard is 3 consecutive closes above the neckline. And in this case, we're looking at the 4 hour chart. And right now we got about an hour and 50 minutes before we get the next candle. But the what I would want to see is 3 consecutive closes above the line. So basically 12 hours of closing above the line to say that becomes support instead of resistance. Or I'd like to see a close 3% above the line, which would be about 85.50. So if this gets up and closes about 85.50 in one candle instead of 3, I would also say that this is a support. And if momentum's backing that move and it moves to the upside above this neckline, and we get that confirmation of momentum, that's where we can bring this objective into play, and then we'll just keep an eye on this neckline out into the future here as your support. Because it shouldn't go straight to 10,000, but if it comes up, comes back down, tests this as support again, it's going to be another area of buying interest to work its way back up to the upside. So this is this is kind of the 4 hour that I'm looking at. Thank you, Socrates, for uh, bringing this chart to my attention. I thought it was pretty interesting. So if you guys have any questions on this, comments, concerns, anything at all, just let me know. So I'll flip over back to the screen here. Wore my Colorado shirt for Socrates. There you go. So peace out, everybody, and happy trading. And again, contact me on Twitter at FiboSwanny. And also we got a show this Thursday night on support and resistance. We got the guys from I Trust Capital coming on talking about digital asset, Bitcoin, IRA, 401ks, all of that kind of information for anybody that is interested in that or want to learn more. We're going to dig in and learn a lot there. So, all right, happy trading. Later, all.